You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments below, and be sure to smash that like button. A little bit of breaking news here on this Wednesday. Per Hayes Fawcett, as he is wont to do from time to time, LSU has landed a commitment from five-star and the number one wide receiver in the country for the class of 2026, Tristen Keys out of Hattiesburg. Keys was in Baton Rouge for a midweek visit. We talked about him with Shea Dixon from On 3, the Bengal Tiger. Shea, of course, from Hattiesburg High as well. So we'll hat tip there to Hattiesburg. Wearing purple and gold, the uniform, the combo, all of it kind of already mirrors LSU. Pretty natural fit. So made his pledge to the Tigers. He's a five-star, according to Rivals, ESPN 24/7. In the composite, if I run through very quickly, my apologies. Doggone it. Tristen Keys in the composite is listed as here you go, the number 3 player in the country. He is the number 1 wide receiver in the country. This is all in the On 3 composite. Again, out of Hattiesburg, 6'2", 185. He is rated as high as forgive me, my computer is just not cooperating with me right now. He's rated as high as the 4th overall player in the country by 24/7. On 3 rates him the number 8 overall player. Rivals the number 9 overall player. The lowest he is rated is number 16 overall by ESPN. Both On 3, 24/7 have him as the number 1 receiver. ESPN and Rivals have him as the number 2 receiver in the country, number 1 player in Mississippi. So you're talking about a dude, a legit full-on dude that everybody wants. Offers from Ole Miss, USC, Alabama, Auburn, everybody. Tennessee, Texas A&M, Oregon, Texas, Notre Dame, Georgia, Miami, everybody. It's a guy that the number 1 receiver in the country that everybody wants. I think this is obviously important for a couple of reasons. You start talking about 5 stars, it's very rare, and when you land 5 stars, it's notable for all the reasons that we already know. I also think this is significant because you continue that pipeline there from southern Mississippi, really in southwest Mississippi as well. When you go through the Pine Belt, that area has been very good to LSU. Guys like Richard Dixon, PJ Woodland, even recently, the ability to go there into Mississippi and get players who, for many of them, are even closer in proximity to Baton Rouge than they are Ole Miss and Mississippi State, to go into Mississippi and get a player like that is massively significant. To leave the home state, especially with such a draw and the NIL commitment a school like Ole Miss has made. But very clearly, what LSU has to offer that many schools don't, 2 things. Number 1, the extreme success of the wide receivers they have developed and immediate playing time. If you take each of those individually, obviously when you look at the extreme success, we can go back through the years. Even when Les Miles' teams weren't throwing the football, they were pumping receivers into the NFL. From Brandon LaFell and Ruben Randall and Early Doucette and even guys like Russell Shepard. Sort of famously, James Wright, who didn't catch a pass at LSU his last year, was still a 7th-round draft pick. So, yes, LSU's had that history. Jarvis, Odell, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas. You look at the list of the top receivers in the NFL, those 4 guys that I just mentioned are in everybody's top 5 or 6. It's incredible. Jefferson and Chase are the highest-paid receivers in football now. Thomas and Neighbors aren't going to be far behind. So there's just a lot of validation to get where you want to go and to be in an offense that's going to let you get there and get that opportunity at a place like LSU. So that's one. The other is the opportunity. Look at your wide receiver room for 2025 and who's not going to be here in 2026. So not only did you go into the portal and add Nick Anderson, who's a 4th-year junior, you added Berrien Brown from Kentucky, who's in his senior year. You added Destin Hill, who's got a couple of years of eligibility remaining still, but coming off a knee injury, and we'll see what happens all there. Anderson and Brown really were the two big ones. Chris Hilton came back, his final year of eligibility. Aaron Anderson came back, his final year of eligibility. Xavier Thomas came back, his final year of eligibility. So those 5 are all going to be gone after this season. And Bauer Sharp was a one-year rental player. I know he plays tight end, but he's going to be a guy that garners a lot of attention and targets. So you're talking about 6 pass catchers that are going to get a lot of targets in 2025 that won't be back in 2026. So if you're the best receiver in the country in Tristen Keys, you come to Baton Rouge as a true freshman in 2026, you're going to have an immediate path to the playing field. Now look at the guys who will be returning. Kyle Parker played in the first game of his career against Southern Cal, had the unfortunate UCL injury, which cost him the remainder of his season. Jelani Watkins, who, an injury in fall camp last year slowed him down. Real great speedster. We haven't seen it yet. Kylan Billiot, who's out there right now, running around looking good on the field, just buried on a really deep depth chart. Teron Francis, true freshman, early enrollee, looks every bit out of Edna Carr in New Orleans, looks the part, is going to be a really good player. But again, that's 4 guys right there that haven't done anything. So if you are, in theory, coming in for the class of 2026, you're coming into a spot where, as you mentioned, Phillip Wright as well, who'll be here, the freshman. You're talking about coming into a spot where you've got an immediate path to the playing field. And I have no doubt that LSU is going to go into the transfer portal next year again and add a veteran receiver or 2 to help fill that gap. Because remember, the thing that continues to happen, not only at receiver, at every position, is every year you lose a quarter of your roster to the transfer portal. So you go sign a high school class. You lose a quarter of that class after year 1. You lose another quarter of that class after year 2. So when you get through 2 years, you're effectively looking at half of that signing class gone. Like, let's go back and look at let's do this exercise, okay? Go back and look at the 2023 signing class, right? So these are the people that would be going into their 3rd year. Lance Hurd, had him for a year, gone. Deshaun Womack, had him for 2 years, gone. Toviano's still here. Jalen Brown, receiver, had him for 1 year, gone. Shelton Sampson, had him for 2 years, gone. Jackson Howard, had him for 2 years, gone. DJ Chester's still here. Kamorian Pimpton's gone. Whit Weeks is here. Kylan Jackson's gone. Caleb Jackson is still here. Tyree Adams is still here. Ricky Collins gone. Mac Markway gone. Trey Holly, different situation. Ryan Yates, Kyle Parker's still here. Kai Preon's gone. That's another receiver. Christian Braithwaite, Jeremiah Hughes is gone. Paul Mabenga's here. Jackson McGowan's gone. Michael Daughtery's gone. You understand the point, Connor? Gilbreth is gone. You understand the point? Like, you're going to lose half your class within 2 years. So even just what we talked about there, guys like Kai Preon and probably more importantly, Jalen Brown, that thinned out your receiver room, which necessitated going to get guys like Berrien Brown and Nick Anderson and Destin Hill. Well, next year, when a guy like Jalen Brown or Shelton Sampson would have been in their 4th year in the program, you now don't have that depth. So you're going to go into the portal and get somebody to give you some experience. Some guys got skins on the wall in major college football to complement the young veterans that you'll have, provided they're all back. Parker, Watkins, Billiot, Francis, all that stuff. But the point is, you're going to have a path to the field immediately for someone who comes in and is capable. And you see freshman receivers. Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Williams at Alabama. Yeah, young guys that come in and can go, they'll go right away. And this may be the guy. So a big get for LSU here in Tristen Keys, the number 1 wide receiver in the country. He commits to LSU here on Wednesday. Now the real key, if forgive the pun, with Tristen Keys, you got to keep him on board. You got to keep him here all the way to the December signing period and keep him engaged and committed. And there's going to be other teams that come after him. But you got the pole position, which is great to see. By the way, Shea Dixon on AFR last week had this to say about Tristen Keys.
I guess people don't really realize this, and look, it's not that much different. But when you talk proximity, Hattiesburg's closer to Baton Rouge than Oxford and Starkville are. So that just puts LSU into the conversation with a lot of these South Mississippi kids. And you see what they did in the past 2 cycles. They signed in the Pine Belt. I mean, Oak Grove, PJ Woodland signs as a corner and playing for him this past year. And then they signed a top 100 guy in Tyler Miller on the O-line out of Laurel, another Pine Belt guy. A common thread has been Donovan Tate, who is a Hattiesburg High grad himself, played ball at both Southern Miss and Nichols, and then has been in Louisiana, been on LSU staff, got promoted here recently in the recruiting department, and being on staff for a few years now, he's had a good eye on Keys being, hey, this kid that's coming through Hattiesburg High, and they were one of the first offers, and I've had him around a ton. So Tennessee, Bama, those are teams that are kind of being talked up a good bit, but LSU's right there with them.
And LSU got the commitment here on Wednesday. Tristen Keys, #1 receiver in the country for 2026, commits to LSU here on Wednesday. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.